subscribe.
We have breaking news. Aaron Parnas is 25 years old. He's a lawyer, a political strategist, and one of the most powerful independent journalists on TikTok. And now, he's being threatened with arrest by MAGA via Pam Bondi and attacked by Fox News. Why? Because he told the truth about an ICE raid.
Folks, I have some serious news right now. Top MAGA influencers are now calling on me to be prosecuted by Attorney General Pam Bondi for sharing a report about upcoming ICE raids in Washington, D.C. I shared where I got the
breaking news right now. According to reports, ICE raids are coming to Washington, D.C. tomorrow and Wednesday. Especially those working for DoorDash are going to be subject to these raids. ICE agents plan to initiate operations after breakfast hours and before dinner time. If you live in the DMV area, listen up.
In D.C. I shared where I got the report from. I share who reported it. It wasn't me. Libs of TikTok wrote, quote, "Wow, left-wing activist Aaron Parnas warned his 3.5 million TikTok followers about the planned ICE raids in D.C. before it happened. He shared a report from an anti-ICE, pro-illegal reporter who has leaked details on raids multiple times." And this guy, with over 300,000 followers, tagged Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, saying, "Please prosecute Aaron Parnas. He's been broadcasting ICE raids. He's amplifying the federal crimes of the leakers. He's endangering the lives of ICE agents and all Americans. Make a legal example out of Parnas." I don't highlight this for fun. I highlight this because this is the threat that those reporting news every single day in this America face. I did nothing wrong. I shared a story that talked about a planned ICE raid in Washington, D.C. so that more people were aware of it. That's not a crime. And I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to back down. So join me, consider supporting me by subscribing to my Substack, link to my bio, and follow along for more.
Aaron isn't some random kid online. He's a trained attorney. Since 2022, he's used TikTok to explain politics and breaks major news. He's built a community of over 3.5 million followers and over 220 million likes. That's not just viral, it's impact. He's using his voice to inform, to fight disinformation, and to speak truth to power.
We have some news right now. Fox News is now coming after me, parroting the idea that I did something wrong or potentially even illegal for talking about upcoming ICE raids in Washington, D.C.
Well, it's not just championing illegal immigrants detained in New Jersey. There's a new trend on the left, and that's warning illegal immigrants about planned ICE raids in sanctuary cities.
We have some breaking news right now. According to reports, ICE raids are coming to Washington, D.C. tomorrow and Wednesday. Especially those working for DoorDash are going to be subject to these raids. ICE agents plan to initiate operations after breakfast hours and before dinner time. If you live in the DMV area, listen up.
This comes just one day after top MAGA influencers called for my arrest for doing the exact same thing. Now, I know one thing's for sure. Those in the White House are definitely watching Fox News. And well, here's the thing. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going anywhere. Because the truth is more important. And the truth is, I did nothing wrong. I cited a report about ICE raids in Washington, D.C. I did not get a leak. I did not leak any information. And folks, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not backing down. Spread the word, follow me for more, and consider subscribing to my Substack, link to my bio to share. We have major breaking news right now. Tensions are rapidly escalating between India and Pakistan. We have some serious breaking news right now. The Department of Homeland Security has confirmed to Axios that it may arrest Democratic members of Congress next. This comes one day right now, just hours after Donald Trump announced a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. There are reports that the ceasefire has now been violated. According to Reuters, there have right now federal workers who thought they were fired working at USAID who spoke to reporters about their firing, about DOGE, are now facing internal investigations by USAID.
Recently, Aaron exposed the details of an ICE raid. The information was public, but buried where no one would see it, which seemed to be the way mainstream media is handling the news these days, which is exactly what makes Aaron so important to the people. Aaron brought it to light. He made sure people knew what our government was doing in their name. He is a very hard worker who brings us daily updates in a quick and accurate way, leaving his viewers the option to actually go research that information for themselves if they find it interesting. And since I've been watching him, he has been Johnny on the spot. The audience loves him and is ready to go through this fight right alongside him.
The liberals are coming out saying that they're going to support Aaron Parnas and to protect him by all means necessary. What are y'all going to do? What are y'all going to do? You ain't going to do a thing when they arrest his ass. All you're going to do is come on social media and run your fucking mouth.
Wow, I wonder what it looks like when you stop talking to women for 30 years, and all your best friends are cute little insecure men who wear matching vests and ride bikes together. I wonder what the that looks like. Anyway, Slugger, I hate to break it to you, but Aaron Parnas is not going to be arrested, even though you guys are totally adorable and you hate free speech. But Aaron didn't do anything illegal. What Aaron does is he takes breaking news headlines and makes videos out of them. He's not leaking classified information. He just looks for stories that he thinks are important and then pushes those stories out to his millions of followers. In fact, Casper, here's the big secret. If you guys could find a Trump supporter with some work ethic and, you know, someone who can read. If you can find someone like this, Casper, then you guys could have your very own Aaron Parnas. And then you wouldn't be so jealous of our Aaron Parnas. And then maybe you wouldn't have to leave the bar every 5 minutes to go complain about this on TikTok. Okay, dude, so stop complaining and go get your own guy, because Aaron Parnas isn't going anywhere. I guarantee you, he'll be out here every day pumping out that news. And the thing is, Mr. Casper, you ain't gonna do jack shit about it. So go back inside and tell Bubba we said hi. Okay, buddy? All right, man. Good luck.
Hilarious that all these MAGA chuds want to go after Aaron Parnas and are on the arrest Aaron Parnas train because he reported on a story about ICE agents in D.C. Where was that energy when Pete Hegseth was leaking things in a Signal chat? Multiple times. Where was that energy when our Secretary of Defense had his wife, brother, lawyer, a reporter, everybody and their brother on a commercial messaging app talking about plans to bomb Yemen, giving out military strikes, military orders, timing, things like that? Where was that energy? Because I feel like Aaron Parnas reading a story, reporting on an article, yeah, that's a really lesser degree of danger than your Secretary of Defense leaking war plans on an app with a journalist and his wife and his brother and his lawyer on it. So they just want to wrap their hands around anything they can because they have so few victories these days. But Aaron Parnas, he's not the problem. Your Secretary of Defense, yeah, he's the problem. So why don't you bring that same energy toward him? Why don't you want to get him kicked out? He should be arrested. Why don't you ease off on Aaron Parnas? Because yeah, that's not the problem, guys. Sorry.
So I see Brother Parnas has been limited in what he can do on here. And I don't know if that's because people have reported him or what have you. But they say it's because his words are stressing folks out. But to that I say hogwash. You know why? Because there is no way that his words are more stressful than actually having to fucking live what we are dealing with right now. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I just cannot believe this. Now, if you need to restrict anyone, how about restrict the person that's actually causing all of this?
News is now coming after Aaron, and I think they're underestimating the power of Aaron here on TikTok. Take a look.
Well, it's not just championing illegal immigrants detained in New Jersey. There's a new trend on the left, and that's warning illegal immigrants about planned ICE raids in sanctuary cities.
We have some breaking news right now. According to reports, ICE raids are coming to Washington, D.C. tomorrow and Wednesday. Especially those working for DoorDash are going to be subject to these raids. ICE agents plan to initiate operations after breakfast hours and before dinner time. If you live in the DMV area, listen up.
It got me thinking, when did Democrats and the left change their tune on immigration? See, President Biden once said,
"Here to tell you right now, we don't care."
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
This comes a day and a half after many Republican supporters called for Aaron to be arrested after he put information on social media about raids that were taking place in Washington, D.C. Information which, remember, was publicly available. And yet, for some reason, they wanted him arrested. Doesn't make any sense. But for Fox News to put this on is another level because you know that the Trump administration watches Fox News, and they've got people from Fox News who are currently working for this administration. And so for those people, I say, you better watch out, because I think you underestimate the army of followers that Aaron has on TikTok and other social media platforms. We are in the age of new media, and that new media has a lot of power behind them, and I don't think that many people understand that power. And look, I'm always going to stand up for Aaron. We're independent journalists here. It's one thing you're going after legacy media, kicking them out of the White House, but when you start shutting down people for just repeating the news and saying the truth, you're going to hit another level, especially with a massive following like Aaron.
For that, people are calling on Pam Bondi for him to be arrested. Fox News echoed it. Think about that. Arresting a journalist for reporting on something that was public information. That's not about national security. That's about silencing the messenger. To be clear, MAGA, Fox News, and the far right has plenty of reasons to dislike Aaron. He has a law background. He has the love on TikTok that content creators dream of, with his 3.6 million followers. He is #1 on Substack. He is also a part of the #1 independent news channel, Midas Touch. He also has political affiliations, which I'm sure contributes to the knowledge and understanding of these topics he speaks about. People are not going to sit back and watch this gentleman get railroaded, especially when he is doing the work for us. For the people, he is risking himself and those around him. We must fight for what's right and right now. Keeping Aaron safe is one of those right things we must do.
All right, MAGA, explain this to me. You have a problem with Aaron Parnas potentially giving information that ICE may be deporting people, so he may be possibly exposing ICE's plans of deportation to some people that ICE deems deportable, okay? Meanwhile, make this make sense, because I'm struggling big time with this. Meanwhile, you have no problem whatsoever with Signalgate and Pete Kegsbreath and the crew exposing possible U.S. soldiers' lives and risking missions. That's okay to you, but an independent media member tipping off ICE is where you draw the line. Got it. Okay. Weird that you don't understand it, but I get it. I hear you.
Follow Aaron Parnas on TikTok, Twitter, and Substack. Boost his voice. Share his story. Let's show him and them that we stand with truth, with courage, and with the next generation of journalists who refuse to be silenced. Let's end this video with words from the man himself. But before I go, please also like the video and subscribe to our channel. We need help growing the channel so we can continue to spread the words of the people fighting for us. It means so much to us. Remember, we see you.
We have to be honest right now about the threat that we're facing. A second Trump administration hasn't been just a policy shift, it's been a direct threat to journalism, especially to independent journalists and to social-first journalists. We've already seen the warning signs. Reporters have been ejected from briefings, the press has been labeled the enemy of the people once again, and a president is openly encouraging violence against protesters and dismissing dissent as disloyal. But let's be clear, independent journalists, TikTok reporters, Substack writers, live streamers, and yes, even local newspapers are targets because we're all visible, we're all unfiltered, and we're all uncontrollable. And when governments can't control the message, well, they come after the messengers. And we as a collective have to be prepared for that, and we must be united in resisting it. Because if we don't protect one another, if we let independent media be scapegoated, if we let local reporters be picked off one by one, then there may be no one left to speak when it's your turn. And it's not hyperbole. It's history repeating itself, and we know how it ends when the press is silenced.